Welcome back to David Dalker. Got another Dalker reviews for you guys today. I went and saw Lawrence of Arabia by David Lean last night in theaters. It was in my local theater. I think like nationwide they're re-releasing it for the 11th and the 12th. And when I was looking for tickets on the 11th for Trap, which I saw yesterday as well, I saw that they were showing it in my theater. I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to see this for a while. I was just going to watch it in my downstairs television, like bigger, big flat screen, but getting to see it in theaters is 100% the correct choice. This movie is fantastic, and I can see why it's a bit of, like a required watch. Not required, but it's just like one of those films where it's like, if you were to watch 100 films before you died, this is one of them. Even like, I could probably argue. I haven't seen a gajillion films. Like I've been trying to watch more films and expand my palette and try to see as many films as I can. But of the films that I have seen, this is upper echelon, like probably top 1 or 2. Like I put this up there with like 2001. That's just like, this movie is a landmark piece of film history. And I just can't even fathom how it was made. Like this is one of the most, I probably think it is the most gorgeous film I've ever seen. It is just fantastic. Like what David Lean was able to do, and his DP, I'm blanking on the name right now. I'll put it on the screen. What they were able to accomplish visually in this film is just stunning. It's 4 hours long, and honestly, like, the second half, granted the second half is a little bit weaker for me. I'll get into, like, the story and stuff later, but, this film is just, it's just, oh my God, it was fantastic. And getting to see it on the silver screen just made it all the better. And, Peter O'Toole's performance of Lawrence was just fantastic. Alec Guinness in this was great. It's just, as someone who really enjoys Dune, I can just see the parallels and just like the inspiration that Frank Herbert drew from this story of T.E. Lawrence. Like just the white man going into the, Middle East, Arrakis, the Fremen, and going into there with a goal in mind, or going in there in order to liberate or just assist them, and then becoming this sort of messiah, and then that kind of corrupting the brain. Like like Lawrence, his character was just so bright and just had that sort of humor and air about him of just that lightheartedness. And he was like looked at as kind of like a goof off. Like he was just, very humorous fellow. And then like the end of the film, and like they're driving in the car, and it says like, "We're going home, Lawrence." And he just has that dead look on his face. Like there's just so many sequences in this where you can just see that gradual, I want to say corruption of just like his loss of, like almost empathy, I want to say. Like he was just it's just such a fantastic tale. And it's just telling that story over 4 hours. Like it never feels like it drags on in any bit. It was just fantastic. Like, and I was reading the reviews on Letterboxd after watching it. Someone pointed out how little close-ups there really were in this film. Like I can think of maybe like 4 or 5 distinct, face close-ups in this film, but besides that, there was just such an emphasis on like composition and the layering of the frame. Like there were just so many shots, like when they were crossing the desert to get to Akbar. And it was just like Lawrence in the foreground, and then you have like just like the layers of a bunch of the different Arabs on the camels. Like it's just, each frame was just so delicately and intricately laid out. It just looked phenomenal. There was a shot when Faraj, I think it was, because it was Faraj and Daoud. Those were Lawrence's 2 servants, just like the boys that he kept with him, where he was sitting on the dune waiting for Lawrence to return from saving the man that slept and fell off the camel. And he was just sitting on the dune, and it was like the dune was here, he was sitting here, and then just like the rest of the party just laid out on the ground. Like it just, every shot was just so gorgeous. And I don't know, it was just breathtaking to see it. Like I was like front row of the recliners, like so I was like a few rows back, just like seeing it, like being able to look up with it covering my ears and just seeing this beautiful picture. It was just fantastic. But yeah, like just like the limited use of close-ups, I think just elevates this picture. And it just, I don't know, just such a unique emphasis on filling the frame, as opposed to like, I think of like, I don't know, The Bear. The Bear is big on close-ups, just like for those emotional tension moments. But I mean, David Lean and the DP, who I put his name up, they just had such an emphasis on the feeling of the frame, and like a close-up in reality is, you know, you could argue it's almost a waste of a shot, because you're taking up so much space with just one individual when you can fill it up and just, you know, tell that much more of a story. But I mean, yeah, like this film, I just couldn't believe it. And there's like opening, like, I don't know, the first half before intermission, like it just has, like when Lawrence and Faraj are returning, when they're entering Cairo, and like they just look so beat, and he's like, I want a lemonade. And then it cuts there, and then they return, and then it's Lawrence's raid on the train, and then he's like walking along, and he gets like shot by the conductor, and it like grazes him, and he just looks at him with like almost like a look of contempt. Like he just, like, there's just such like a distinct difference between that Lawrence and the Lawrence from the beginning of the picture. And it's just, I don't know, I could just ramble on about this movie a bunch, but I mean, if you have a chance to see this movie on the silver screen, take it, because that is how you want to watch this movie. It's just such a joy, and it's just so, it's I don't know, just, it's fantastic. And like I said, like as someone who loves Dune, just to see like a parallel story, you know, drawing from real life, obviously, because T. Lawrence was a real man. It was just neat. I don't know. It's just a fantastic film. And I'm probably gonna be watching a bunch of videos just breaking down Lawrence as a character, and just his, you know, a soldier, just like an Englishman with morals, you know, looking to liberate the Arab people from the Turks, and then just becoming this sort of false messiah. It's just such like an interesting, it was just, I don't know. It was fantastic. Watch it. That's all I got, you know, 5 gajillion stars out of 100. Or about a 5, I don't know. Lawrence of Arabia, watch it, obviously. I'm not probably the first one to tell you this. Fantastic film. Fantastic. Peace out. Whatever.